Hey guys, I am once again on pace to do my ARC reviews on time. I'm so glad. If I'm a little bit out of it, it's because I had some fairly invasive dental work done a couple of days ago and my mouth really hurts. So I'm gonna try to not let that bother me and talk to you guys about this really adorable book. So today we are talking about The Reunion by Michaela. This is a book by an author who previously has written some young adult stuff. To my knowledge, this is her first adult romance. I decided to get an ARC of this one because it is a second chance romance, and you guys know that I love those. So I went into it kind of with some high expectations, and then I realized it was a single POV. And if you have seen literally any book where I reviewed a single POV romance, you know that I have a really hard time with those. And I think it's really interesting in this book how those two features kind of evened out actually. And I ended up really enjoying this one despite the single POV facet of it. So The Reunion is the story of our main narrator and female protagonist, Liv Latimer. Liv Latimer, when she was in her tweens and teens, was the star of a really popular TV show called Girl on the Verge. Now, this show, it kind of struck me as almost like a Dawson's Creek, Gilmore Girls kind of situation. So that's kind of like the style of that. And she starred opposite that for 6 or 7 seasons with her also tween teen co-star Ransom Joel and a bunch of friends and frenemies who made up a really solid portion of her adolescence growing up and making this show. It is a decade or so later now, and they have all come back together to make a reunion special of Girl on the Verge with the potential for it being greenlit for more seasons. And this is the first time that most of these characters have been back together, and tons of things have changed. So for Liv and Ransom specifically, when they were making Girl on the Verge, for like 5 of the 6 years, they were really close. They were best of friends. They told each other everything. And then as they moved into their teens, for Liv at least, you definitely get the sense that she had more than friend feelings for Ransom. She really thought that he reciprocated her feelings. And then in the final season of the show, he told her that they needed to take a step back from their friendship, and he started dating another girl. And she was like, well, I totally thought that was something it wasn't. And so they really haven't spoken, maybe texted on and off in the intervening years, but they have not been back together since. Ransom has gone on to be a super Hollywood leading man type, think like a Chris Evans, superhero, like a spy action flick situation. Whereas Liv took a step back. Her father was a very famous actor. He was killed in a car crash while being chased by paparazzi, and that happened while she was filming Girl on the Verge. And so after that ended, she took a step back, quit acting for a while, and then went into the indie film scene. So she's definitely not done something on the scale of Girl on the Verge in a really long time. There is a good cast of supporting characters, notably Liv's best friend / assistant Bree, and a couple of the other people that they are friends with or enemies with on the show. Unfortunately, I feel like some of these characters who were quite funny and could have been kind of complex get put to the back burner for this. I really do hope that maybe we get some more books in this universe to really let some of these people shine, because I think there was definitely more to do with some of these characters, and I hope that Michaela Olson takes the time to do that. In terms of the story itself, like I said, I wasn't sure how I felt initially when I started reading, and I realized that this was just going to be Liv's point of view. I was not a fan of that. It always puts me on the back foot a little bit, because I really like, as a relationship progresses, to see it from both sides. And there was also intermittently between the chapters like posts from blogs or social media that were like inserted into the story, and publicity, social media, what's real and fake in Hollywood, it's all themes in the book. I'm not necessarily sure that the social media posts added anything. I just kind of flipped over those for the most part. But what I realized as I was reading was that there was something about the writing of this book where I really did become invested and live as a character, and I was really enjoying the story. And so while I still would I have loved Ransom's point of view as well, of course, but I think that this is definitely a single point of view novel that felt more successful than most for me. So while there is a lot of other stuff that felt like it could be going on in this novel, some side character plots, some other things going on, it really is mostly the story of Liv and Ransom, you know, coming back into each other's lives and, you know, dealing with the miscommunication slash fight that ended their initial teen friendship, and now coming back as adults who, you know, have unresolved feelings and emotions about how that ended, and, you know, have really missed each other as their lives have gotten more and more complicated over the years. It is a clean romance. There are some scenes where clothes come off, but nothing is described. So it's kind of bizarre. It was unintentional that I've read now 2 basically clean romances back to back. So the spice level in this one is low, but the emotion level is high. There is a little bit of sense in this book that it kind of felt like we just tipped into the romance like immediately. Like, you know, Liv and Ransom see each other for the first time, and Liv is instantly like, oh my goodness, like all of these feelings are coming back. But as something that I think in a more critical mood I could have called insta-love, again, I think the way that it was written and the way that it was described felt a little bit more natural than that. Like when you've had someone that you was totally your whole world and you were so in love with, especially as a teen when everything is just more intense, and then you basically go cold turkey on them for like a decade, and then all of a sudden they're back and they're hotter and you're just like, I didn't deal with any of this and now it's all coming back. I felt like that was handled fairly well, and for some people that might not work, that there's not a lot of build up to that moment. But for Liv, she's just like, oh wow, I'm still attracted to you, okay, awkward. I think this book has a very smooth plot in the sense that, you know, once Ransom and Liv finally get around to like having a conversation with each other, they're really on the same page and, you know, untangling, you know, their past together. And I think that's kind of what made the ending for me, and like, you know, the thing that they fight about, that 75% of the way has to happen thing, kind of felt like it was just kind of inserted in there. They're acted upon by an outside force, and they've just been on the same page so well that I was like, this feels a little bit, this could have been done a little bit better. At the same time though, it also like resolves really quickly. So I guess like that's both a plus and a minus, where it's just like this speed bump really, as opposed to like a really dramatic like kind of fight at the end, which again, the book, it's hard to describe the writing style with anything other than like smooth and cute and easy to read. And so I guess that the best thing I could say is that it really is just kind of more of like a speed bump, and then you get on to, you know, this really nice, smooth story that you're reading. I guess maybe what I'm trying to say is that if you are looking for a book that has like a little bit of drama but not a lot, that has a little bit of spice but like not a lot, very minimal, and you're looking for a good, well-written, smooth ride of a very cute relationship, then this is the book for you. It's not going to be high on like, what's going on. There's not like anything really super dramatic that happens. It's just like a good, solid, smooth time. And that may be, I think, why I enjoyed it so much, because the way that I'm feeling right now, I couldn't handle a very bumpy road. I'm probably in a space where I would be very critical of something that was just like throwing me all around. And sometimes I love that out of a book, make it juicy, make it spicy. And I didn't want that right now. Like I just wanted a good love story between 2 people. And I think that's what this book really is. Like I said, it had the potential to be even better with a really strong supporting cast of characters, all of whom had, personalities that I was really interested in that I don't think they got enough screen time. So there is, I think, like a little romance brewing at the end between Bree and another one of the male supporting characters. And I really hope that Kayla Olson makes that into another book where maybe we could have some of these characters return, or maybe another person will get their own book. But I just think this was solid. It was smooth, it was cute, and if that is also where your brain is right now, I recommend this book for that. It's not perfect, but it will definitely just fill that space you need for that kind of book. So this book is not out quite yet if you are watching this review right after I posted it, but it will be out within the next week or so. So you can put it on hold at your local library, maybe if they do books in advance, or you can wait for it, pre-order it, get it at your local bookstore, and give it a chance, because I really enjoyed it, and it was exactly the right book at the right time for me. So I am moving right along with my plan to get all these arcs out to you guys, but for now I really need to stop talking because my face hurts. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope everything I said was cogent. I'm gonna not talk for a while now.